Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online, the SLOTRO 2 edition. And there goes a sapper right behind us. The bloody cheek of the little bugger. Anyway, we're going to take him out. Let me go and get him. Welcome back. It's great to see y'all here. Dunedain says hello too. Say hello to everybody, Dunedain. Indeed. This little SOB, he ain't going to go no further, let me tell you. Let's turn on our running. Let's put down a trap. Anyway, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. We are trying to have the servers are going down for maintenance this morning at 8 o'clock, so we are trying to beat them to it. We've got a few hours before that happens. But we did want to get this done. When we last left off, we were working over here at the little camp in between the sunken stones and the other camp, which I cannot remember the name of right now. Is it on the map? Where are we at? Sunken Stones and the Goblin Hole Ruins. That's it. The Goblin Hole Ruins over there where the two chieftains are. And the Sunken Stones, which is over here, all this area here where the various buildings of the Dunedain, of the kingdom of, is this Arthedain? I think the kingdom of Arthedain here has sunk into the waters of the swamp, including this large fortress over here, which is where we are going to be headed, because we are working on the spiders in the Midgewater. We are looking at killing some sicklefly wings. We can give those for Snicket. Is that his name? Snicket, I think. So we're trying to do that as well. That's my barrage skill. Let's develop some focus. Let's see if we can do the oh, we don't have that one, do we? No, we went blue line. Well, I mean, we went the attack line with the bows instead of doing the line with the traps, so that I can actually move and shoot, as you see. That's always nice. We did that instead of the traps, so we don't have the one when we nail their foot to the ground. That would have been pretty funny if we could have nailed the sicklefly to the ground there. But yeah, they're having their usual updates. The maintenance on the server, so we will be trying to beat it to the task this time around. Go ahead and throw down a trap. Of course, it's just as funny that a trap on the ground stops a flying creature as well, but hey, it's Middle Earth, you know. Let's see, can we hit them with a barrage? Or is the swift bow going to take them out? There we go, 3 of 4. One more. Hope y'all been having a good one. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. I had quite the enjoyable time. My son came down and was able to celebrate with us, and I didn't, well, I had to work Thanksgiving, but I was off that weekend. And that's when we all got together, so that was fun and quite enjoyable. Now, as far as for the next few days, all I can say is I'm going to be able to get up videos today, and I'll be able to get up videos tomorrow, which will be Thursday. Yeah, I'll try to get one up Thursday, and hopefully we'll be able to get up on Monday. So we're looking at a Dunedain today, a Gnarlo tomorrow, and a Gnarlo on Friday. And then my son just bought a house, and he's moving. He closes today, in fact. So at that point, this Friday, I am going to be driving up there to his house with a truck, and I'm going to be camped out at his place for the next like 3 or 4 days, helping him move and get stuff done, mounting a TV on his wall, that sort of thing. So I'm not going to get it's going to be basically like being back at work again. So it's not going to be too different than what y'all are used to. I'll have a big 3-day stretch without anything being produced, and y'all go, yeah, so what's anything different? I tell you, I have got to get some actual time off to myself here lately. I have been... Alright, we got one of the brood watchers, one of the marsh spiders, and we got to get the queen too. There's another marsh spider. I have had, over the last about 3 weeks now, several like 4-day stretches where it's like I should have plenty of time to get stuff done and all, but instead I am having to spend so much of my time doing stuff for other folks. I mean, nicely doing stuff for other folks. Like, you know, I had a 4 or 5 day stretch and went to Canada for 5 days and and then had like a 5-day stretch off last week and spent 3 of the days with my son furniture and electronic shopping for his house and all that. And now this week I got an 8-day off stretch, and I'm gonna spend 4 days of it at his house working. So it's like the next stretch of days I have off, I am going to freaking devote at least 4 or 5 days to me. Alright, we're at the history of the Dunedain here. Ancient altar, an ancient altar of Anorian construction, which you can find evidence of recent activity as if some rite or ritual had been held here. You discovered an ancient altar of the Dunedain amongst the ruins. Let's go ahead and pull up that deed. That should be an area door, I think, and then probably in Breland, and what is it? History of the Dunedain. Got the ancient altar now. The strange altar you found appeared to be Anorian in origin, with signs that some gathering or ritual had taken place there recently. You've heard rumors that rangers here in the north occasionally gather for a ceremony to declare the coming of age of one of their number, where they induct the young man or woman into their ranks by way of an oath to the old kingdoms. Only thing we got left is the ancient obelisk, and I believe it is right in that area. I think it's right on the border of the marshes and the Chetwood up there, if I remember correctly. So while we are killing spiders, why don't we kill on up that way and see whether or not I'm remembering correctly. Because I don't even think Gnarlo has gotten that one yet. I need to bring her back on down here and let her go after that one. Excuse me. I have gotten a bad cough here, a sore throat and everything. It has been rough. That's one of the dangers of, one of the good things of working in a hospital for the last 30 years is that you get exposed to everything, and generally, you know, when cold and flu and all that time comes along, nothing bothers you too much, especially since you have to get vaccinated to everything. Generally, you do a pretty good job and build up your resistance. It's kind of like having young kids in the house. When my brother Dunedain, when he first had his oldest kid, Action Hank, you know, he had him in daycare part of the day, and he would bring stuff home. Dunedain and his wife were sick all the time. And their pediatrician told him, said, yeah, it's like having a little kid in daycare is like being in being in a quarantine zone, being in a hot zone, because they bring everything home, all the new little viruses and all, they bring home for you. And you get to experience them all over again and get exposed to them. And by Lord, if that ain't what happened, that ain't what's happened to him. And being at the hospital is the same sort of thing. Heated brood watchers. Being at the hospital is kind of the same sort of thing. After a while, you've been experienced to everything, and you shouldn't be sick anymore. But every now and then, some patient coughs in your face, and Lo and behold, there's a virus you haven't found before. There's the obelisk. It had to be in this region. So I think that's it. I think I've been hit by the latest version of the cold here. So we are going to try to get through this episode without doing too much coughing in y'all's face. Okay, 2 more watchers to go, and the Marsh Queen. Okay, there is the ancient obelisk. An ancient obelisk upon which many names of men have been inscribed. Some are so old as to be faded beyond recognition. Others look as if they might have been carved yesterday. That should finish that one. It did indeed. I wonder if that's a sign that I've completed a deed. Completed the history of the Dunedain. New deed, Explorer of Breland. Am I finished there? Alright, let's see. We've gotten SLOTRO points. 10 SLOTRO points for completing that. Deed completed is the history of the Dunedain. And the last one is the ancient obelisk. You found an old obelisk out among the Honorian ruins, seemingly newer than the ruins themselves, with the names of many men carved upon it. Your only guess is that this must be some sort of memorial. The design and the style of the names you saw there suggests that it was built by the Dunedain, and given their reverence for their ancestors, there's every reason to believe that it may be a memorial for their fallen. Some of the names seem to have been added recently, suggesting that the Rangers are somehow involved. Fantastic. And another 2,000 virtue experience. We'll have to get into that and figure out what we're going to do with it. But there's a deed bestowed. Explorer of Breland. Explore the Barrow Downs, the forbidding old forest, and the ruins of old Arnor scattered all across Breland. So we explored the history of the Dunedain Rangers of the North. We need to do the Barrow Downs, the old forest, the ruins of Breland, the lore of Cardolan Prince, and find the flowers of the old forest. So we will have to give that a try too. I love all the exploration quests and all. That was always my favorite thing. One of the reasons why, and I've discussed it before, I'm sure, why I was so disappointed whenever they started giving you the maps. We've discussed before when we first started this, and for the first couple of years, when you came into a region, you had a map, like for instance this. Let's say we had just came into Breland from the Shire over here, and we came in here, you'd have this much of the map explored right there. That's how much would show, and all the rest of this would be blank until you actually traveled there and filled it in. And that was just wonderful. It really added to the feeling of exploration and all that. But not really congruent with the sort of MMO mentality these days, I'm afraid. That's not the way things work anymore. Not what people expect anymore. It's one reason why, and I talked about this in my last video, the Narwin video the other day, about Brad McQuaid dying. You know, one of the founders of EverQuest, the fact that he had died. And Pantheon was the name of the game that he's been working on, the latest MMO he was working on, which is supposed to be a spiritual successor to EverQuest. It was supposed to have the same kind of, as it was said back in the day, and as he was sometimes parodied for, he talked about the vision. You know, and he did. He had a vision for what he wanted EverQuest to be, and he wanted EverQuest to be a hard-as-nails, team-based, group-based MMO where everyone was relying upon each other. You had a couple of characters you could probably solo, but for the most part, everyone was pretty reliant upon each other. You know, you had to group and depend on your teammates and that sort of thing. And he was wanting Pantheon to be that sort. He was wanting to be a modern-day version of that. There's the Marsh Queen. See if we can get past this spider down here. Get around behind her, put up a trap. And from all accounts, that's the way things were going. And it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to be able to continue without him being there to continue along with the vision, you know, as it were. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Unfortunately, so many of these, it's kind of... They talk about feature creep, you know, games get feature creep. What's in the cocoon? What's in the cocoon? Well, it wasn't a head, so that's good. So many of these games suffer from feature creep. Think of... Oh, you did not have the response. Oh, that's right, Mundal is over yonder. He is on the... I was thinking he would be right here at the ruin, but no, he is over this way. The quest says he is over between here and the Weather Hills over there, I believe, is where I'm supposed to find him. But we got the spiders done. We've got, 1, 2, 3 quests done. We're going to talk to Mundal. That'll give us our 4th quest. Let's pull this up right quick just to be sure. Near the Midgewater Pass. Yep, he should be right over in this area. So we'll go and see about him. What was I discussing? We were talking about a feature creep. One thing they talk about the game Star Citizen. You know, whatever you feel about the game, pro and minus and all that, it is an ambitious title, so whatever you feel about it, it's got its ambition, but as they talk about feature creep, the fact that it was supposed to, you know, originally supposed to have been released 3 years ago, and as it goes along, they just keep adding stuff to it, and keep adding stuff to it, and keep adding stuff to it. So I hope it gets released. I really do. I hope it is half the game that it has been played up to be. That would be wonderful. I really, really hope it is successful, because I would love to see a just absolutely incredible space-based battle and role-playing game like that. I think that would just be awesome. It would be an incredible thing to have happen. But it definitely has suffered from feature creep, and that's one of the things that they talk about. Just saw Ring pop up. I wonder if that's one of the reasons why we get the jitters like that. And TV stations suffer from the same thing. They don't call it feature creep. What do they call it? Like purpose creep or something like that. You know, when a TV station, think of MTV, the fact that MTV was music television, 24-hour music videos, and doesn't really play any videos anymore. Maybe plays, an hour a day of videos, and that's about it. The rest of it all is interesting. Is reality shows and lifestyle programming, you know? Or think of Sci-Fi Channel. Remember when it's kind of like whenever that woman, Kathleen, whatever her name was, or Catherine, whatever her name, when she bought TSR, you know, producers of Dungeons and Dragons, and the problem being is that she hated role-playing games and hated the people that played them. Kind of the same way, the people at Sci-Fi Channel decided that they didn't like the geeky audience and the nerds and all that, so they started showing wrestling and programming, like, you know, and lifestyle type changes. I think for a while there they had drift racing on there. And it's always like, why do you not keep your audience? It's always the same thing as here. You know, think of all these games that have changed to try to be more like World of Warcraft, thinking that they were going to steal the World of Warcraft audience. And it's like, no, it's not going to do. Same thing with Sci-Fi Channel. It's like, what the hell are y'all thinking? It's so nice to see Sci-Fi did find their way and come back. What was I ranting about? Who cares? It was a Gnarlo rant, right? Let's talk to Mundal. Delay not. It is too late for me. Amdir right ahead of you. He must be stopped. The 9 Must not take him. Prologue to a Ranger's Aid. Please, there is but one last of my kin in the Midgewater marshes. Rennerlind is his name, a young scholar of my kind. He was not here when Amdir came, and may yet be alive. Go to him quickly. He had gone to study the ruins of the old Marshwater fort at the center of the marshes. You must tell him. Warn him. Be aware, Amdir scream. Enter the ruins of the old Marshwater fort. Indeed. Too late. So he basically tells you the same thing. Alright, folks, we're going to stop this. We've been 20 minutes here. Can we turn our light? Yes, we can. It's been 20 minutes. We are going to sit here and do what we can to see whether we can help Mundal, and if we can't, to make his last time on Middle Earth here as comfortable as we can make him, and then to be sure that his body gets the proper respects if and when he does pass. So there you go. We thank you for coming along. Nomadan thanks you too. Hope to see you next time. Hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said, the servers will be coming down here in a little while for the update, so hope you get your gaming in before then. We'll see you next time, and as I said, tomorrow we should have a Narwhal episode, so we will see you then. Bye-bye.